Jessamyn Anderson.
Nice to meet you, Father.
And Jimmy Mitchell.
Father John Paul, good to see you.
I think it's your 4th time down here.
It is. It is indeed.
It's good to have you back on Life on the Rock on our new show. You're here to talk about Love Good.
That's right.
And your new organization, and really what inspired this? What inspired this Love Good? What's the background that you want to share with our viewing audience, and how to inspire them about the one, the true, the good, and the beautiful. Most of all, the beautiful.
It's a really great way to start, because I think we are living in a time that is a bit plagued by relativism, isolation. People don't have a sense of what culture is because they don't know how to share life with each other. And I think beauty is one of those transcendentals that really knows no enemy. So if truth and goodness have been kind of thrown off to the side by relativism, by isolationism, beauty is this last standing transcendental, as we often call it, that can really pierce the heart, elevate people, give them a taste or a glimpse of the hope for which they're made. And then we really hope, through the music, the books, and the art that we promote, by inspiring people to raise their standard for media and culture, that actually, eventually through friendship, through encounter, through some of our intimate events, they can actually come to know the source of all that hope, who is, of course, Jesus. Yes,
that's kind of a word, encounter, that we've heard so much of the last, probably all of our lives, through the last couple pontificates, going all the way back to even Paul VI. That was the beginning of my life. But the Pope's inviting us to this friendship with Jesus, and what this means to encounter him, to encounter the one, the true, the good, the beautiful, and how they're all connected. Really, they're not all compartmentalized, but this expression of encountering the beautiful. Talk about that, Jessamyn, just what that means for you, in an expression of you and the talents that God's given you.
Yeah, so beauty, like Jimmy said, it really doesn't have an enemy, because everybody wants something beautiful, and the things that are truly beautiful, authentically beautiful, as you said, they can't be torn away from truth and from goodness. And we talk about that a lot in house, how they're married, and you cannot break them apart, or they're not authentic anymore. And I think something that I encountered through my journey, and have continued to encounter through my journey as an artist, is something that I only came to know when I saw the antithesis of it when I was living in New York. And I moved there to pursue this Broadway dream that I had, and the starry-eyed feeling I had faded pretty quickly, because I was experiencing the antithesis of culture. And what Jimmy said, we, in our world today, we don't really know how to encounter one another, how to share life together, which is culture. Culture is sharing life together. And I really saw a lack of that in the city, and it propelled me into kind of this deep loneliness. And only when I found other artists who wanted to live lives of beauty and truth and goodness, not just living life that way, but living life that way through their artistry, whether that was in sacred music and sacred art, or something that maybe their gift was designed for something outside the walls of the church. Just having that community of people that wanted to live lives of beauty, to use their gifts for the true beauty that is God, and finding that community, it propelled me into a whole new journey with my artistry, and really understanding the purpose of gift, how to use it, and how to share it well.
Did you experience glimmers of that beauty? Even within the midst of, I think, the chaos, maybe of your life, did you experience like glimmers along the way, like those aha moments?
Yeah, I think so. And I think I didn't have a vocabulary to put behind it. I maybe didn't know how to explain it. But I think a lot of it came through like adrenaline highs when I was performing, and just experiencing this overwhelming emotional high off of music. And I think at the time I didn't recognize that as God. I didn't recognize that as something propelling me beyond myself. I just saw it as this joy, but the source of joy is Christ himself. And I wasn't able to really recognize those aha moments as connected until I became a part of Love Good, until I became a part of something that was putting words to what had been ingrained in me from a very small age, when I kind of discovered this musical gift. And so, yeah, those aha moments were happening, but it wasn't until I had a community of artists and until I had a group of people and an organization that was able to help me define why that was happening and what the purpose of those moments really was.
You know, Jimmy, you spoke about the song Origins. We were talking about that earlier. Can you share with us a little bit about that, and what's the inspiration, what's the drive behind that?
So on top of leading Love Good day in and day out, I have a really bad habit of writing film scores for movies that don't exist. That's actually track 1 of Salvation History. It's sort of my musical composition around creation. And so I've been actually able to share that song and many other original piano songs in a lot of different situations and environments on about 3 different continents over the last 4 years. And what I see consistently, especially amongst young people, is they are craving, as you put it, encounter that actually brings them outside of themselves and points ultimately to the divine. And I think music's a part of that. I think art and architecture and so many aspects of life that actually demand creativity and authenticity bring that to the surface. And I think right now we have an amazing opportunity as a church to actually show young people a beauty that's so rooted in the truth, ultimately, of God's love, that it's almost irresistible at that point. I think music's, again, a part of it, but ultimately it's a much bigger thing than even any song I'll ever play.
Well, that's a good stopping point, and we'll come back and I think we'll continue this conversation about, you know, just encountering the, you know, the one, the true, the good, and most of all the beautiful, and how we bring that most of all to the culture. This how we have a really a culture of sharing. You know, is that the wording that you use?
Yeah. Sharing life together.
Sharing life together. Yeah, we need to do that more often.
That's awesome.